stuff here.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order at 6:32. Charlene, do you want to start with attendance, the roll call?
Doug Thompson,
Here.
Katie Knutson. Here. Richard Anthony.
I haven't heard from him. I'm hoping he shows up soon.
Somebody's coming. Ted Carbs. Here he is.
Richard Anthony's here. I haven't heard from Ted either,
Me
so.
neither. Okay. Margot Collins. Here. Larry Gladhill.
Here.
Nolan Pelletier.
Present.
John Sherman.
Here.
Jay DeRoche.
Here.
And Tyler Shorman.
Here. All right, let's stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm right here.
Thank you. Sorry, Richard. So I know Charlene pointed out one typo already. I think we clarified.
It's on page 9. Do you want me to speak to that?
You can speak to it if you want to.
Okay, so I wasn't able to get, under patriotic and cultural, I was not able to get who the seconder was. I think it might have been you, Tyler. It's on page 9, but I just wanted to confirm that.
Do you recall, Tyler?
Looking at it right now. Yes, that was me.
So I'll fix that. You need to accept them?
Just a highlighter.
Need to accept them? Somebody make a motion?
I move that we accept the minutes from November 18th,
As corrected.
2025 as corrected.
Any discussion or edits?
Just a point of information.
Yes, sir.
We did state that we were asking for the right to knows that passed 620. Do we have those currently?
I don't,
Page
do not,
4?
yeah, we don't have those for tonight's meeting
What's that?
because Greg's not here.
What's that?
I'm sorry, is your question, do we have the right to know results?
That's my question.
I don't have, I wasn't provided that information,
So 3 weeks, we haven't received anything.
not that I've seen.
So why is that?
I can't speak to that. I don't know if Greg hasn't provided it.
And Greg is not present tonight?
Correct.
And isn't that why we postponed last meeting? Because Greg was not going to be present and we didn't have the information needed?
Well, between him and there were other people that weren't going to be present. So we postponed last week because Chris Knutson couldn't be here to talk about
Okay.
his 3 budgets. Greg wasn't here to talk about anything. Greg did provide additional information today, which I did share. Granted, it was late.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
getting information several hours before is, in my opinion, completely unacceptable. If we want to feign that we actually care about this budget, that might be okay for some other people on this board, but it's not for me. If we're not going to base our decisions based on facts and based on numbers, then we can at least go through the motions and get that, and everyone can vote as they will, but the information needs to be provided in a timely manner. And here we are. I mean, we motioned for information back, I believe it was in April, if you can correct me if I'm incorrect, and we still haven't received that. Is there a reason why?
Which information in particular? About April?
Do you not know?
Well, you asked about the ambulance. I think that was provided. I can't recall additional information that wasn't provided.
The additional information of the ambulance, I mean, just
Well-
since you asked, but,
Well, Chief Knutson can talk to that
Okay.
today.
well, I mean,
we don't have the information, so we can't review and we can't ask educated questions if we don't have that information presented to us in a timely manner. To
So anything related to the ambulance was shared previously, a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Well, I hope tonight, if we're talking about the ambulance, we're going to get the narrative around.
So, point of order, we have a motion on the floor for acceptance of the minutes, so I feel like we should be getting back to that.
Well, I had a point of information, and I was just curious that it is a valid question, Mrs. Knudsen. And like,
So I hear you, Nolan. So we've tabled many budgets due to lack of information.
Yes.
Some of the information did come today, which is not ideal. From my point of view, which I spoke to before. I like to have information out days before the meeting, not hours. So I don't disagree with
Right.
you. So we could
okay,
talk.
but to be fair, Mr. Chair, we had a meeting. We were supposed to have a meeting last week.
Yep.
So we're now another week out. We postponed another week because of the holiday. So we're like 3 weeks out.
I hear you.
So
It's not ideal, Nolan. I recognize that. I can't provide information I do not have.
So why is not, there should be a reason why we are not getting this information. Has that been provided to you, Mr. Chair?
Other than day-to-day operations, there's been, I can't speak to what goes on.
Will Mr. Colby be joining us tonight?
Mr. Colby will not be here tonight.
Okay, so again, in our policy, in our bylaws, it states that he's supposed to be here every meeting, and you postponed last meeting because he wasn't going to be here. So if we have questions that involve, he is, correct me where I'm wrong, he is the CFO, correct, for the town?
Yep.
So we are the budget committee, and we're talking about the budget, and we don't have the chief financial officer here tonight,
Correct.
and yet we're conducting a meeting.
Well, you do have two department heads that are experts in their budgets here to talk about their budget, so we should at least be able to get through those.
We'll get through
Well,
those.
to be fair, some of the information that we asked for is regarding some of the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight.
Potentially.
So we didn't have a chance to review it. We didn't have a chance to formulate questions. We didn't have a chance to actually come here as educated board members. So to throw us in at the last minute is not adequate. It's not fair to the board, and it's not fair to the people that we represent in this town.
Yeah, so if we get to a point where we don't have adequate information, we could just table it.
Okay, so
I can only control what I
I guess
can
I'll
control.
close. My point of information is answered, so we'll move back to the motion on the floor.
Thank you. Any other discussions in regards to the motion to approve the minutes? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained?
One abstain.
You, Jay? All right, thank you. Thank you, Charlene, as always, for doing a good job with keeping us in order. I'm going to change the agenda a little bit. I was going to do a public comment. There's no public comment here, so I'm going to start with Mr. Kane to talk about the planning. Finally, thank you very much for your patience during this process. I appreciate your flexibility.
No worries.
And
It's not that I have a long commute.
it's still a commitment to be here, commitment to put together a budget, commitment to the taxpayers. So thank you for your flexibility. I appreciate it again.
No worries.
So do you want to walk through your budget as it's in front of us?
Sure. I submitted paperwork, some notes, if you will, to the budget that I'm sure you all have. Generally, the planning board budget's kind of a little bit funky, especially when you expand it on a gross basis, which is the requirement we have. Is because you've got elements that are reimbursable that kind of fall into a different area of the RSA that governs our finances.
Okay.
And then you have areas that require appropriation, which is really the job of the budget committee. So in the expanded view, I'll start with that, is to give this on a gross basis, is to show essentially how the planning board operates in terms of how it generates fees, and then the so-called, kind of operational expenses of the planning board. So the aspects here, the budget essentially starts with staff, runs down how things that are expenses that are essentially generated as a result of fees, but then gets into what I would call the kind of statutory obligations of the planning board, which are legal. Most of that relates to zoning ordinances, or emails, which is a new expense. The staff support we get from the Rockingham Planning Commission, and then the master plan update, which is, none of these are mandatory, other than that to the extent there are zoning ordinances, they need to be drafted by the planning board. But they are necessary for a functioning planning board. So in terms of appropriations, to me, and there's a bit of a kind of separation, if you will, of responsibilities. So you have the planning board's responsibilities as it relates to the processing of site plans and the like. And you have the planning department's responsibilities, which are somewhat different. They're dealing with the town planning. The challenge is all that expense has been captured only in the planning department historically. That it hasn't been reflected. The planning board's portion and responsibility of those expenses haven't been reflected in a separate planning department budget. This is actually the first year that you're seeing two different budgets, a planning department and a planning board. And this budget in front of you is only the planning board's.
Okay.
Okay. So in my view, when you start to think about appropriations, it's driven by purpose. And in an appropriation, the thing the planning board is seeking approval for is the piece of the expense that goes to the staff for those planning board functions, the legal expenses, the email addresses, staff support, and master plan update, as well as a small amount for office supplies and mileage.
Of course, yeah.
The total appropriation for that is approximately $72,058.
Okay. I'm surprised to see your payroll to go down, Dan.
Well, it's the difference between you've had a more experienced person being swapped out for a newer
No,
person.
that's really a good, I understand and I appreciate that. It's unusual to see payroll go down, period.
Yeah, no, hey. And, the planning board staff is a quality, we've had quality and we continue, and we've got new quality, if you will. This is an experienced person. And, from I deal with her a fair amount, extremely competent and hardworking.
It's good.
I have a question.
Sure.
Jay, this is really for you. At the planning board meeting, not the planning board, the Board of Selectmen meeting, didn't you all vote the planning board budget for $62,013?
Yes.
So then what's the what was your number that you stated?
So
7258.
so if you look at the sheet, it's broken down into two spots, two ways. There's the planning department budget, which
Yes.
ends at line 870.
Yep, I see that.
And that total budget is to that point, it's $73,215.
Okay.
And then the remaining lines is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 62, account for $62,013.
So then are you accounting for staff in your planning board budget when it's already accounted for in the planning department budget? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's double budget?
Well, there's a schedule there where I crosswalk from the planning department budget to the planning board budget. I don't consider it double counting It's just that staff should be separated into two different departments because the functions are different. The supervision's different, the control's different, the responsibility under the New Hampshire statutes are different.
But is that employee an employee of the town?
Yes.
So then it should be accounted for at the town and not the board.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep, not necessarily.
Any questions for Dan?
Yeah, I actually have one more, if
Go
that's
ahead,
okay.
then Nolan. Yep.
That's good. How many email addresses do you all have?
None,
None?
none.
How much is the amount going to,
That includes every member of the planning board plus the maximum number of alternates,
so how many is that?
9.
So that $1,400 is for 9 emails?
That 1296 is the actual number, but yes.
Do you need that many email addresses?
Well, again, it accounts for if we have a full slate of members and alternates, yes.
Currently, does the planning board have like the budget committee, we have one email address that goes to the chair, right? Does the planning board not have an email for the chair? I mean, is that,
You have a planning board at plastow.com.
There is a email account for the planning board chair, and then there's a link that says, I think
So
says
yes, there
planning
is a-
chair, but it doesn't go to me.
There is a planning board chair
Yeah.
account.
so then why do you all need 9 email addresses?
We're a public board.
But why 9?
Well, 9,
Just one?
well, because you can communicate with each one of us. Each one of us is elected. Why wouldn't you?
Just costs money.
Oh, boy.
Just for context or perspective, that the legal counsel at the time, not the current legal counsel that we have, expressed much surprise that each of the individual planning board members did not have their own dedicated email address.
Yeah, and not to get off topic, but I'm not opposed to that regardless of cost, because if there is a right to know, when you have your separate emails, it's easy to filter that email. My personal point of view, but
I mean, if I may add to that too, I've been advocating for this for a long time. I've spoken to the board over 2 years ago, probably even 3 years ago, in regards to this.
yeah,
I think that all public servants should be able to be accessed by our community. All communications should not filter through the chair from the public.
or not only that, for right to knows, I wouldn't want my personal email compromised because of a right to know.
Well, I mean, I had to start a new email
know.
once I sat on this board.
I know.
I mean, it makes absolutely no sense that this town is not. It's a professional way to do it. It's giving access to the public, and in regards to what you're saying, right to know, once it's managed by the town, that takes it out of the hands. You know, it puts it in IT, and it gives the public the most transparent way to obtain information in regards to what's happening. And I'm a big advocate for transparency. I think that this whole board should actually have emails. So, you know, I think that's when we talk
so-
about
so
when we
you
talk
wanna- you
about
wanna-
money,
you wanna
I
cut
find
the
it
budget,
very
but you
I
wanna
find it
pay
very
for more
interesting
emails.
that in a drop in a bucket is what you're picking that advocates for, you know, public transparency, and yet we have not had a single conversation or a single vote to reduce this budget. So I do find that very interesting. So thank you.
No, but then just one thing you did say about legal. Does the planning board not have the same attorney that all of the town and the other committees have?
No, we have our own attorney.
When did that change?
It's always been that way, except that our attorney, our previous attorney, also represented the ZBA, which was a conflict.
What is your rate per hour for that, for your attorney?
$250.
And how often do you all access that attorney?
How what?
How often do you access that attorney?
As needed. I mean, we could go months without accessing that attorney.
So for this year, about roughly how many times have you accessed that attorney?
I know I was given a number of $56,000, $171 in fees. I can tell you right now, the planning board didn't access that attorney for $56,000, $171. Did it?
Your current attorney?
Yeah, well, the previous attorney. We've only had our current attorney for 2 months.
Oh, okay. Because that's why I asked. I asked how long you've had it. And you, okay.
But we've always had an attorney.
No, but the new one.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'm good.
All right, any other questions for Dan while he's here?
Yep.
Go ahead, Nolan, I'm sorry.
There was a reduction in there in this budget. I don't know if it's showing was that in reference to
Impact fees. it was.
impact fees? Or no, it was,
Yeah, it went from 35 down to $1, I believe.
yeah. So it's a reduction, it was a reduction of what?
Yeah, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, for the upcoming year, we are updating the so-called public safety impact fees. They have the biggest bang for their buck, in terms of updating the fees. We also had proposals to update all of them. But and I put a schedule in here, just a sensitivity analysis, is when I looked at it, I wasn't sure that we would get a bang for our buck on the other fees. So the road, the school, the recreation, just because so much of the fee is dependent upon residential construction and residential development. And I saw that as being a little bit light in the upcoming, certainly the upcoming year. Whereas I thought the public safety had has relies as much on residential, or even more so on commercial. And I wanted to see what that would produce, recognizing that the folks that we had got the RFP from were willing to kind of hold some of their fee proposals until we saw the results. It seemed to me to make sense. And I didn't want to spend taxpayer money on something I wasn't sure I was going to get a bang for my buck for.
How do you see construction going forward in Plastow the next year?
I mean, there's just not enough land, I see one-off kind of deals. And I don't, it's interesting in the zoning, the changes in some of the zoning ordinances, particularly now allowing multifamily construction in a commercial zone. I thought there was some hope for that. Those kind of mixed use, adaptive reuses, but it'd only be in C1, and essentially, the Demoulas property kind of always sticks there like, could that be a residential, commercial kind of property? It has the capacity, has the size for it. So that's kind of, as I look at it, because the challenge with 125 is it's mostly two-story, structures, so if there was some larger multi-story structures, and I'm not talking skyscrapers, but that would lend itself to more kind of resident mixed use, if you will.
Yeah, 125 is very limited.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the town of Plastow is.
But the so-called Demoulas property stares you in the face in terms of size, and you see what they've kind of played with over in Salem, that
It would be ideal.
that would be kind of cool,
I don't disagree, Dan.
Yep.
Any other questions for Dan while he's here? Go ahead, John.
My question's about master plan. I've lost track of where we stand with the master plan. Is it in process or is it up to date?
It's done and it's fairly well up to date. We're working on economic development and transportation is the kind of new tasks to update those. But we did housing recently. So the master plan was well written, well done, and has remained relevant. I think when you read through it, it just needs to be tweaked a little, like everything.
So if I went out on the town page, what would I see under master plan?
You'd see the whole master plan.
The current one.
Yes. Yep.
It was just updated with,
The housing sector.
The housing section. Yeah.
So that's the newest edition that was updated from the previous, our work with
RPC.
RPC.
But that's, I think there's a real commitment from the planning board for this upcoming year to hammer away at a little bit more of that, particularly transportation.
So it's the planning board's responsibility to keep the master plan up to date?
It is.
I thought so, just
Yep.
confirming.
It is.
Right, any other questions for Dan?
Dan, I see that the Board of Selectmen approved 135,000. You've requested 165,000. That change in variance, can you talk about what that impact would be if you had the additional monies that you requested?
Yeah, I don't see I mean, if you look at when I put this budget together, we requested, and it's really not a request, it's just the gross nature. Again, it's the presentation of the budget was $143,109, $108. That's again, the gross presentation.
Larry, I think what you're looking at on the paper you have, that was the one that was presented originally to the Board of Selectmen
The 165?
prior to Mr. Kane coming and saying they weren't going to do the impact fees. So the reduction of those impact fees is what you see the difference in from the Board of
Perfect, thank you.
Selectmen.
Thank you for the clarification on that.
A reduction in the budget.
It was a reduction.
One of.
Remember you came to the Board of Selectmen, Mr. Kane, and we
Yep.
didn't line up how we were trying to read
Just wanted to make
everything.
sure.
There was one that was
I know it's surprising.
It's like everything. It was, and this is not a criticism, it was just stuff happened and it didn't get reconciled. And so, now we're chasing numbers, but it's not, I don't think it's that big of an issue personally.
Yeah, so you're comfortable with the 135 as proposed?
135 is
5228.
that is the combination of the planning department and planning board,
Yes, I'm sorry.
right?
Yes, correct, yes.
I mean, I think the gross number works. It's just the buckets.
How it's carved up, yeah.
The buckets matter, But yeah, the gross number I'm fine with.
Okay. Any other questions for Dan, since he took the time to be here tonight, guys? No? All right, Dan, I appreciate your time and your flexibility, as I said previously.
All right, no
You've
problem.
been more than flexible with the board, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Merry
Dave.
Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Stay
Make a
warm.
motion to approve the planning budget for a total of 135 to 228.
Second.
Get that, Charlene?
Motion made by Jay, seconded by me.
Thank you. That one I got.
All right, any discussion on the planning board budget as proposed?
I think I'm just going to make a point to
course, Rich.
this particular budget.
Yep.
We were offered more money, all right, and we did an analysis that was supported, by Mr. Kane, showing, with respect to housing and things like that,
Yep.
and said that, no, we don't need the additional money to do the impact fees, based on the fact that it would take too long to recoup the money. So, it might be anomalous, but this represents a budget where someone initially was offered more money, and then we cut it.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you for that point, Rich. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor of the budget as proposed?
aye,
Didn't you abstain?
no,
Okay.
we're not
Any-
acting in a
any-
judicial capacity, and this is a budget that I just asked Mr. Kane to put together that
Any-
I wasn't involved.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
I would never oppose a reduction in budget.
You get that, Charlene? Okay, thank you. Mr. Connection, nice to see you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would like to move to adjourn. I would like to move to adjourn.
Why is that?
I'll second the motion for purposes of discussion.
Well, there's no discussion. It's a
Okay.
non-discussion, but if we do want an explanation, I stated for the reasons earlier that we are not getting the information in a timely manner. We are talking about budgets. We don't have the town manager present. We've asked for other material that has not been provided. I think if we're going to move forward, we need to have the information. Even if we're going to make decisions based on facts, we need information presented to us. We made motions for stuff 3 weeks ago. We have not received it, some even longer. So I move to adjourn until we have so we can have a meeting when we have all the information in front of us. We can make educated decisions. We can have the town manager talk about the existing budgets that we're supposed to go through. And that's why I'm making a motion to adjourn.
So why didn't you do that before we did the planning board?
So I would like.
Well,
to speak-
because
Because he's
No, I
here.
mean, if the
information-
logic,
the
no, I mean,
information-
if the logic is that the town manager's not here, then why didn't you do it before the planning board?
I'd be happy to answer that because we don't answer, this separates, our budget is separate from the town now.
Oh, okay.
That is a separate entity.
No, so it's
From-
just when it benefits you two. Okay, cool.
So all I want to say
Okay,
is.
yeah, that's
Hey,
a reason.
There's a motion on the floor.
There is a motion on the floor, yes.
Nolan, I do understand and respect you. We do have plenty of information to go through some of the budgets that are still open. For example, Chris Knutson's here to speak about some of his
We
departments.
have, we've
If-
asked
if-
for,
if
we've
there's-
got- in all respect,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, some of the stuff in this, for the stuff that we requested
Yep.
in the last meeting is pertinent to what we are going to be doing tonight.
All right.
Do we have that in front of us, Mr. Chairman?
Well, I have mine that was sent out on an email and printed.
What's that?
So we have
So
probably more information than what you're leading everybody to believe that we don't.
I would highly disagree with that, Mrs. Collins. So
So if we get to a budget where we can't answer questions of those open items, for example, like
we're just
cemetery.
going to feint, we're just going to fake it. I got it.
No,
Yes.
so there's plenty of information,
There's not
here.
plenty of information, Mr. Chairman.
I think in some of these budgets, there are. I politely disagree.
Is the health inspector here?
No, but we can table that. We can talk about the fire department rescue.
The health department now falls under the commander of the fire department. I'm here.
So you control the health department, Mr. Knutson?
That's correct. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions that you have if you want to move forward with them.
So motion.
Motion's on the floor.
Yeah, we just vote.
So if you want to move forward without information, vote yes. If you want the information and move forward with education, like an educated position, then vote no.
I'm pretty sure you could have all the information in front of you and you still wouldn't be satisfied.
I don't think that's true.
Can we abstain from the
Yeah, no.
snarky ad hominem
Okay,
type?
there's a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
It was already seconded.
It was already
Sorry, second. All right. Any discussions in regards to the motion on the floor?
It's not discussed. It's not discussed. Motion.
All right, all in favor of the motion that's on the floor? All right, any opposed?
Okay.
Anytime we get to, if we need to table something, we can table it if we don't have enough
Table the whole
information.
meeting then.
So the next budget would be that of the fire department. We tabled this one earlier when it came up. Unfortunately, Chris, we didn't invite you timely, so my apologies.
It's okay.
Thank you for joining us. Let me flip to your fire department budget. A lot of pages to cover here. So last year's budget was just under 1.6 million. This year you're asking for 1.7 million, give or take.
Right.
And obviously, the biggest impact is labor, payroll.
So I could go either direction you want. I could just go straight to questions. If you have questions, I could go line by line.
Why don't you present the biggest changes in the budget first, and then you don't have to go line by line, obviously.
So there's two lines that are always kind of intertwined together, and that's our full-time payroll line and our part-time per diem on-call
Have you
line.
increased full-time employees?
We've moved an employee from the per diem to full-time.
Yep.
And then we moved the health department over. The health department now is 42% responsible on the fire department side of stuff.
Okay.
So those are the two biggest drivers to increase the full-time line. You can look at the part-time line and it went down $53,000.
Yeah, that makes
So the hourly rates for the position are pretty much equal. Sometimes hourly rates for the full-time person could be less than a per diem person fillings. So you do save, you don't really save on hourly rates. We didn't add any positions, if you will, and we just changed categories. You do save on retirement and benefits. The position we moved is in Group 1 retirement, which is a much lower retirement than a firefighter retirement would be, and the person didn't need health insurance. So it turned out to be a cost saving to do that versus having to pay overtime to keep covering shifts that were open. So, we always constantly look and analyze what is better, full-time, part-time, per diem, for the same number of positions. So we fill 1,460 shifts a year with per diem people. And we're pretty successful at doing that, but that does come with cost besides payroll. So we always look at what does that look like? Is it better just at some point to move it to a full-time person to keep the overall budget down?
Correct.
So that's the biggest increase there. Only 1.9% of my budget's discretionary, and that's really being open. The majority of our budget, 98% of our budget, is stuck numbers that we can't control unless we eliminate services.
How many calls did you have this year compared to this time last year?
So we're up about 7% in calls. This year, we're knocking on the door around 1,500 right now, I think. Right around 1,500.
Right. And do you know how many of those are related to the 125 versus residential?
I don't have the exact call numbers. We typically hang around 68% on residential addresses. And I might be able to pull up a map. I don't know if I could connect to the internet, but I could even show that on a map where our calls are. It puts a dot, and it literally looks like you took Plastow in the map and shot it with a shotgun. There's no heat. It's spread out everywhere.
So about a third is from Route 125 itself, and the other 2/3 are because of the population. So it's not solely driven because of the commercial.
No, and we don't really have, we don't have any extra resources or equipment because of 125. So if 125 didn't exist, the 68% of the calls that we respond to, those residents would still need our services where they're at today and the equipment that we maintain today. So there's nothing that we have in our fleet or in our personnel line that's specific just for 125.
Do you see a need for any new equipment that's not listed here? Other than payroll, your budget isn't really increasing.
No. And that's like I said, that, we only have a very small percentage of our budget that's discretionary.
It's mostly payroll.
Everything else is payroll or contracts or maintenance. I assume when a fire truck breaks, you want me to fix it, not just leave it in the yard. So that's what the cost drivers are. We have one of our fire engines is very expensive, and it doesn't really do anything except sit there and just falls apart.
Unfortunately. Do you see any warrant articles for new equipment for the fire department this year?
We have not changed any warrant articles, and I'm actually a little bit worried about it because that goes through planning. Is that right? CIP. And I keep getting information that you don't have them, but I got an email confirmation back from Dan Kane that he got it back in October.
Okay.
So that's kind of concerning that our important CIP items ain't showing up anywhere yet.
Oh, if they were being sent to a plasto.com email, then maybe.
They got sent to like 5 people.
Oh, that's fine.
So.
Yeah, there are other departments that haven't sent anything to CIP. And, and if anyone's watching this, maybe the selectmen would be good. If a department doesn't have any updates or something like that, rather than not responding, it's probably best practice to say, everything's great, reviewed it, and, I'm fine going forward. But I mean, that's what you do in the private sector, but you just wouldn't not respond. So if you responded.
I responded well before the deadline and got a confirmation back.
And I don't think anyone said you didn't respond. So I think you might have been one.
I'll bring it up with the town manager. We don't have any purview over the.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying
personnel here.
The fire chief did respond. All right,
So,
and I'm not finished.
So I'm thinking, probably sometimes people just don't respond if they didn't have updates and. I'm sorry you took offense to that. We'll make sure.
Not taking offense. It's not taking
taking
offense. It's a best practice. I mean, you don't know if it's stuck in a spam filter. You don't know if the person didn't see it. You don't know if they just missed it, or you don't know it's what you said.
Or you don't get a response. Like when I asked when we're having a CIP meeting and I never got a response.
Yeah, you got a response, Jay.
No.
Yeah, you do. You have
Did not.
a Board of Selectmen rep on the planning board that you could lean over to and he could
So-
tell you everything that we talked about.
I emailed.
Point of
the
information.
chair.
Oh, Nolan, go ahead. Yep.
As far as
Hey,
I
you
know,
opened the door. You opened the door. So I emailed the chair. I asked.
through the door.
I kindly asked, when we're having a CIP. And,
You emailed the chair?
I mean, the chair of the CIP.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Nolan?
as far as I know, there's a CIP. If the public's listening, there's a CIP meeting tomorrow, unless it was canceled.
As far as I know, it's tomorrow. Yep.
I was,
Correct.
I got followed, there was a response from Shay saying that if you hadn't responded yet, please respond so we know if we have quorum. So as far as I know, I don't know if there's quorum or not. I believe I already responded, so that's,
I guess
as far
we
as
got-
I know, if the public cares about it, that's tomorrow at 5:30.
5:30 here. Yep.
Yes.
Just point of information, the Budget Committee hasn't appointed an alternate to the CIP committee. It's not listed on the website.
It may not be listed on the website. I know it's me and Nolan. Correct?
I was notified, yeah.
I think you're planning board, aren't you?
Stan.
So I think to answer Doug's question, we're looking to get warrant articles probably Monday, so most likely we'll probably have one for fire apparatus per the CIP.
Yeah, our CIP stuff is the same as it's always been. There's no, we're not
Let's
asking
make sure it
for,
wasn't an ambulance
Unless
or a
those
ladder truck or
numbers
something.
change at the next meeting, then we can adjust what the warrant article number will be.
yeah, we're not asking for any at this time unless something comes up as no one-time warrant articles. now.
I appreciate it, Chris. John?
I was confused about the meeting tomorrow night. I have a hearing problem that didn't come through. So tomorrow night is what?
CIP.
CIP meeting.
CIP. And who's the chairman of the CIP?
Dan King.
Dan King. Yeah.
Who, excuse me?
Dan Kane, the gentleman who just left.
Okay.
Any questions for Chris in regards to the fire department budget specifically? Go ahead, Nolan.
What was that $265,000 that was written off? What was that in regards to?
I don't know of any write-offs. What are you referring to?
Oh, he's talking about the ambulance in particular.
Yeah, April.
What's your definition of a write-off?
It says write-off on
That's what it
the,
said on
Where at? Do you have the paper with you?
no, it's on, on the website. If you were to go look at the ambulance.
You're talking about one of these?
No, what you have posted out on the ambulance website, you have a summarized reports that have a stamp from your,
Yeah, you're talking about this report.
I don't know what report you have there. But if it is, if you look in April, all right, I believe 2025, it's approximately $226,000 that's listed as a write-off.
From accounts receivable.
Yeah. So you understand how to read these. What you're seeing is WO for write-off referred to collections.
Okay.
So that money went to collections, it didn't get written off.
Well, no, it's,
Yeah.
again, the write-offs, if we're going to be technical rather than being dramatic, write-offs, all right, involve a number of things, all right? And so if you have something that's a Medicare or Medicaid billing or whatever, you're only statutorily allowed to charge a certain amount. That's a straight write-off, all right? And it's collected.
That's actually not, that doesn't fall under a write-off, that falls under an adjustment. So I don't want people confused. Write-off means you throw it away.
Chief, not for nothing. No, it doesn't. We're using technical accounting terms, not what you're summarizing it to be.
No, that's on this legal document here.
It's not a legal document that you have. The report has $226,000 worth of write-off that have Medicare, Medicaid information, things that are deemed uncollectible for whatever reason, okay?
So that was April?
Yeah.
Yes, April.
So back to the.
Is this microphone working?
The correct terms, we don't, in billing and medical billing, we don't classify statutory deductions as write-offs. They're classified as adjustments.
Okay. You need to look at your report then, because.
I'm looking at it. It's right here.
Yeah, well, you're not. You have a report in your hand, and you're not looking at it. That summary number has write-offs for medic. Can you please sit down?
Adjustments.
I don't care what you hand wrote into it. All right.
It's okay, Chris.
Jeez.
So I'm sorry, who asked the question? Was it Richard or Nolan?
Well, we're trying to, but the chief's being theatrical.
Okay.
The point is that you have 200, the normal cadence in 2025 All right, since you're looking at the reports, if you look at the normal cadence, you'll see that it's like $400,000.
No, it's probably more than that, to be honest with you.
Why don't you take a look at it?
I am.
Have it in front of you. Let's have it. You seem to.
So you have a third-party billing software, right?
We do.
This was your first year in service, correct?
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Do not have policies in regards to collections up until probably after 1 year, correct?
About 9 months.
So it took 9 months of analysis to,
Yeah.
because at the time, the town department wasn't sure how to collect from citizens that couldn't pay.
You
didn't have a policy.
There wasn't a question about that. It takes that much time to finally get someone to collection. So there's no need to align with the collection agency on day one. There's nothing in the pot.
Well, not only that, but you didn't have a policy on how to collect from people who couldn't pay.
Yeah, we hadn't made it that far yet because there just wasn't a pot yet. There wasn't a pot of bad debt.
There wasn't enough data to make a decision.
Yeah.
So when was this pot established that you then all of a sudden had a policy?
I think you did
And
a
you were
right to
doing
know on the contract, or someone did.
What's that?
Didn't you do a right to know on that
Oh, we didn't get it. We
contract?
didn't get any of that information yet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So I guess my question is, when did you suddenly have this policy in place?
Oh, it's been in place for a while. We've had a
Well,
collection agent
when?
for a while.
I mean,
All right, so you say April.
The chairman's just been leading you along.
Probably it was April of 2025.
Oh, so
Or
now-
March, probably March is when we started.
Okay, so what was, do you have the reports?
All right, so I'm looking at that report right now. Do you have a page number by chance? Because it's 30 pages long.
Yeah, just go to the summary at the end.
The credit summary?
You have a summary at the end that
There's an
details your,
agency- okay, at the very end.
that details your receivables.
Okay.
Or you could go to the website where you just posted the summary.
That's where I'm at. I'm on the website.
So if you went to you should be able to just see a line item on the website that says write-offs. I mean, it's only 6 lines.
Or adjustment.
right? Something like that.
For April.
Yeah.
So it looks like we actually started that in February was the first batch.
February, March, April, okay.
And then April, yes.
Okay, how
So
much
now
is
you have to go into the report to understand what write-offs mean.
Okay, well, how much was it?
All of it's 228,292.
So the normal cadence, though, if we were to look at January, February, March, and then
The prior 11.
May,
So, yeah.
June, July, all the way down to September, I think is the last time I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's like what? I mean, it's just, they're sort of de
So-
minimis relative to April.
January it has nothing. February has 1363, 41 cents. March has nothing. April has 266.66.51. May has nothing and June has nothing. They
So
don't.
that's my point that you've been very difficult about. All right, it's just, you could have just said that the normal cadence is visually what you just said, and that April is anomalous, okay? And my question is, can you
April
explain?
what?
Anomalous in the sense that it's $228,000, whereas everything else is $1,000 or nothing or something like that. So my question, without the posturing, is what happened in April to that number? That's all.
Because that's when the billing company shipped the package of bad debt to a collection agency.
All right, so it's bad debt.
So if
Who
you,
authorized that? I'm just
well,
curious.
that's how bad debt goes to collections.
Who authorizes it, though?
We do.
All right, so the answer to the question is that you wrote off $228,000 by sending it to the collection company. All right.
That was referred to collections, yes.
Now, when you say it's referred.
When you say write-off, it's not been written off like we
Well,
just
that's- what
dismissed
did-
it.
What does the category say next to 228,000, that line item?
WOREF.
You write off. Okay, so it is write off. So I
So
don't.
what you have to do is go back to the pages before that page
Yeah.
and read them, and it says it's been
Right.
sent to collections.
So what's the collection policy? So if the collection agency collects, how much does the town
So
retain?
the cash flow of collections.
Yep.
You have 30 to 60 days to get the bill generated.
Yep.
So if you get transported today, you're looking 30 to 60 days before the bill is populated and sent. Now, that period typically goes to your insurance company first. If you have secondary insurance, that adds another 30 to 60 days. If there's any mistakes in the insurance claims, that gets repeated,
Yep.
right? So our billing company won't typically send out that batch of debt to a collection agency until it's at least 180 days past due. Because it just takes time to get through all the hoops.
If they collect, what's the fee to the collecting agency?
They collect 25%.
You retain the other 75% if it's collectible. If it's collected.
Yeah. And out of that pot of money that you're talking about, we've collected $7,000.
Out of 228.
Yeah.
All right, where is that shown? I'm just curious, because I mean,
It's on the website. If you go underneath the ambulance reports, you go to
Yeah.
collections, it'll show in that
I
report.
guess what I'm saying, looking at the ambulance reports, you have a number that was sent out. I didn't see anything on those ambulance reports that shows, let's say, the inflows of collections.
Because it's no longer with that company. There's a collection company and a billing company are two different entities.
Right. So where do we show that entry, that revenue entry? Where?
So if you go to plastow.com, go to government, go to the fire department, go to collections. I believe it's titled ambulance collections, and it's a detailed report that I put up. Same time all these others put up.
You have a question?
But it's not, like, the town is not authorized to write off any debt to make it just go away. It's right now in collections, if it's over 1 year, so how medical bills work, before it can show up on your credit report, it's got to be over 1 year and over $500.
Right, Nolan, do you have a question for the chief?
I do. So should we expect this to, in regards to what he's saying, it's anomalous? So it's if it's not anomalous, are we expecting this number to come again, say next April? Is it a 6-month cycle? Is it a year cycle? I'm just curious. I mean,
After the first,
under the projected revenue and that you had actually stated when we started this, and I'm just curious what we're expecting on these collections, or if we're going to see these, excuse my term, write-off of that volume. And if we are, what is it going to be now, more monthly, or is it going to be?
It'll be more monthly moving forward. It takes a while to get that first batch because of all the time you have to wait. And now that the time's passed for that first batch, then it'll start being more equally.
So going forward, that would be like 18 to 20.
Yeah, so like if you look at, let's pull up October's report. Now I know what page you're looking at. Now I understand you're not talking about a write-off at the time it's through money back. You're talking about what's going to collections.
Using the technical term that's on the report from the ambulance service, whether or not you like it or not. It
All right,
says right.
so let's see here.
Can we get this up on the screen so the
I don't
public
know
can
how
see
to
it?
do that.
So in May, only $195 was sent to collections, and in June, another $18,000 was sent. So you're going to see it start balancing out.
Yeah, his laptop has that.
Hey, Chris, if you use that laptop to your right,
June was 18,000?
we might be able to project up here for these guys to see.
You can probably just unplug the,
The Wi-Fi cord. Oh, look at,
Oh, could I? Is it this HDMI cord?
yeah, it's HDMI cord.
All right, here you go.
thank you, Chris.
This is the page you're talking about, correct?
That's the page that you
Yeah.
posted out there and that you referred everyone to when you wouldn't give them the detailed the
Yeah.
reports, right? That I had to get from a right to know.
You're what though now? Who refused what?
I did a right to know.
I don't really care about that. It's not my
Well,
department.
actually, when I was doing the right to know, they called you on the phone and you referred me to that website before I said that, no, it wasn't sufficient for the right to know. So, I mean, what you're saying right now in public, just so that if everyone's listening, is categorically untrue. Maybe you're just mistaken in
Are you
how you're
accusing me of
phrasing or you
lying?
don't remember.
Are you accusing me of lying?
I think maybe you didn't remember
So you're
because
telling me lying?
Well, are you saying that the person, when I did the right to know, didn't pick up the phone and call you on the phone and said that the fire chief said that it's out on the website and it wasn't going to give me the detailed report?
It's on the website.
Yeah, but what I just said, is that true?
I have no idea, to be honest
So
with you.
maybe you don't remember. So maybe you're not lying and you don't remember.
Yeah, let's get back to the write-off.
The questions and what we're sharing on the screen.
Yeah.
So if there's other stuff you don't want to remember, then that's fine. So what are we looking at?
So is this what you want
Hi,
to
Mark.
see? That's pretty balanced out. That was the first big batch that went.
So since then, you're averaging 18, 28, 14, 47, so
Yeah.
roughly.
It's going to bounce back and forth because we might have a high month of people that actually pay. You know, we might have a month where people that aren't paying. It all depends on if they have commercial insurance, if they pay their bills, if they don't pay their bills.
When was this report? This is the summary report, right?
Yeah.
When
This
was
is on the website.
Yeah, that's fine. When was this posted to the website?
The same time I sent you that email with all of them.
About a month
I
ago.
was just curious, is there a timestamp on that particular report or something that you're looking at?
1 second, John. Do you know when this was updated, Chris? Do you know how frequently?
I emailed you, didn't I?
The last email I received regarding the website was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. It'd be nice if it was stamped, so you knew it was
Yeah.
11/1 or 12/9. John, do you have a question in the meantime?
Because these reports
I don't
originally
understand
were
what
just individual
possible
by
action this
individual month.
committee is going to take.
This wasn't
based
a rolling
upon
summary. This is a new report.
information here.
So, I mean,
This is not a report.
hold on a second. Someone else asked a
Hold on,
question.
John has a question. Go ahead,
So-
Jay, if
Pick
you
it
want
up.
to explain.
I'll repeat the question. He said, based on this information, what is the budget committee going to do with the fire
Information.
department budget?
What are we going to do? It's just if we're writing, I would like an
What is it that?
Did you ask a question that you want an answer to or not?
What is it that the budget committee is looking for here? I'm just,
Right.
if you be quiet, John can ask
Oh.
the question.
Oh, I didn't know John was asking a question. You were
Yeah, you
sort of going
No,
on with
I
it.
recognize
You
you. I'm sorry,
recognize
Richard.
him and you two can
And
talk.
so you just jumped in instead of
Oh,
John.
so John, ask your question again. John, go ahead.
I play by rules.
Can't hear what he's saying.
So, yeah, what potential resolution are we going to offer, or are we being asked to update some report, right? This is interesting information. I'm not sure how it pertains to the, to this committee and what will be presented to the public, I guess.
And I kind of agree with, has no bearing on our appropriation request.
He's right. I understand Richard wants to understand why after 12 months, there was a large adjustment, which
It
is,
doesn't affect us.
I think it does adjust, it does provide a little purview because it does provide revenue back into the town. But I think for the purpose of planning of operating budget, it has no merit.
it's significant information that could impact the decision-making, but at the end of the day, the ambulance is the needed service. That's not going away. So regardless of policy on write-offs, we're not going to take away the ambulance because we have a good or bad write-off policy. The question is meaningful because it's nice to know why it sat there for 12 months. Now, the fact that over the last 4 or 5 months, it's been about 20,000 just shows that the prior 12 months was a one-time catch-up, and going forward, 20,000 should be the average going forward. So I understand the merit of the question.
I think the merit.
Just a little bit on that. Chief, is there any way you could just zoom in a little bit?
See this better?
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the more important page because it talks about what the different report categories are. If you look underneath ID, it says report category.
So under credits for 231, Chris, is that quantity of calls or adjustments?
Correct. No, that's number of calls. And if you go back to the left, where it says write-offs, WO referred to collections.
231?
Yeah. 350,958. So 99.07% of our bad debt has been turned over to collections.
And how many calls do you have a year? You said it earlier.
1,500.
So, 15, 20% of all your calls go to collections?
It's not unusual for an ambulance,
Don't know anything about ambulances,
you know.
or operating an ambulance, I should say.
So of that population, I mean, I'm assuming that doesn't include people, I'm assuming that doesn't include, that isn't Medicare, Medicaid, because that should be relatively efficient.
So
Third-party insurance should be pretty much straightforward unless unless there's a problem with how it was filed or something like that.
no, that's incorrect too. So let's go back to Medicaid.
Just,
People don't understand this, so let me explain it to you.
Here's a little secret. Maybe I talked to somebody that's run an ambulance service before you start saying stuff like it's incorrect.
Maybe you should talk to a billing company.
Right, so go ahead.
So
Just point.
Medicaid, Medicare's adjustments, it's a whole different category. It's not included in this credit summary.
Right, because you're not going to write.
Your commercial insurance, so if you have Blue Cross, Anthem, whatever commercial insurance you have, you might not even have an ambulance on it. Okay, not all insurance companies include ambulance transport, believe it or not. Okay, a lot of those insurance companies will only pay $600. Guess what? The patient is responsible for that balanced bill. So if they have a $2,000 bill, which is an average bill that we send out for an ambulance transport, it's around $2,000, and their commercial insurance only paid $600, and they don't pay the other part, they're responsible for $1,400. It goes to collections. We still go after those people that have insurance, yes.
Okay, yeah, and that's fine. So this is an individual, they're part of it that they haven't paid. That's the vast majority of that population that you're saying. Your insurance company gave us $600, but you owe us $1,400.
You still owe us $1,400.
All right.
And we're still going to take them. Now, that's going to change after the first of the year, because state law is changing and making insurance companies pay more, but now we can't do balance billing. It aligns with the rest of the healthcare arena out there, that there shouldn't be any surprise bills. Like if you go to a doctor, you should know how much it's going to cost. Well, it's now trickling into pre-hospital care. When you call for an ambulance and you have insurance, you shouldn't have to pay anymore. So there's going to be no more balance billing after the first year. So what you'll probably see is the write-offs go down as going to collections, because if you have a commercial insurance and they paid $700, $800, $900, now we can't do anything with the remaining balance.
So I'd like to motion to approve the budget of $1,715,874 as listed for the fire department.
I'll second that.
Any other questions for the chief?
So there used to be, pardon me,
Let John, okay, go ahead, John.
there used to be a separate budget, right, for health?
There is a separate budget.
Where's that now?
That is
We're going to talk about that after. Probably next.
page
Okay,
31,
it's,
yeah.
a few, got it.
Yeah, they split the position, some of it's here, but.
I understood that. I just wanted to make sure that we were
Nolan?
going to get to it. Thank you, John.
We've been down in ambulance for, I don't know how many months, since May.
May, yep.
And I know we've called in various other towns to supplement our basically our loss in the ambulance. How is that billing handled?
Do we get billed for it? We don't get billed for it.
So they bill when we call in another town, they bill for it.
It depends. Sometimes they just bring us the ambulance and it's our staff that rides it and we bill for it.
I know it's off topic. Do you have a time when we're going to have A1 back in service?
Your guess is as good as mine with the parts out there, waiting on parts.
I knew this was an issue before because you were saying Trinity wasn't responding, but yet we were down. So it is a little bit troublesome. In my opinion,
Say that again. Do what now? What are you accusing of?
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Let's say Trinity wasn't responding prior.
No, Trinity don't respond to our town anymore.
No, I know, but that was the thing. That was the excuse before, and now we can't respond.
No, we respond quite well to our town. We've not missed a call. Trinity missed 80.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what you're accusing us of.
I'm not
No,
accusing
we are
you.
very,
I'm not
very
accusing-
effective. in
I'm
responding
not
to our
accusing you of
I
anything.
think it was just a
Chief.
question, Chris. I don't think there was any accusations of that.
Pretty sure it was just the question.
So,
town. I didn't understand what the question was.
it's okay.
Not accusing you by
And
default.
I think it was just a question. So Trinity
Relax.
has a bad rep. Any other questions for Mr. Knutson while he's here? Any other discussions? All right, all in favor?
I do, you know.
I'm sorry, Richard, go ahead.
I mean, if it's a bridge too far, let me know. But, you know, and it would have been nice if Mr. Colby was here because I was curious about, you know, with respect to revenue, what particular grant we had received. I assume was there a federal component to the ALS program?
No federal component.
No federal? All right. Is there a federal component to the 2026 grant that's continuing the ALS program?
Not a federal component,
So
no.
there's no federal at all? All right.
The federal law component.
What's that?
Did you say law or
No,
component?
no, federal component.
Like you talking about funding?
Yes.
No, there's no federal
No
funding.
federal at all?
Yeah.
All right. Because I mean, maybe I got misinformation, but I was under the impression that
There was funding, I think it was state.
State funding.
that there might have been, but that somehow tied into our 2024 audit or something, but whatever.
No.
The town manager, is he the agent for the ALS program in terms of signing or, I mean, did the Board of Selectmen vote him the agent for 2026?
Yes,
So was he the agent in 2025?
yes.
Okay. Is the town manager receiving any remuneration in his capacity as agent?
No.
Okay. Are you receiving any remuneration?
There's shared revenue, shared employees per se in the system. So the town saves money now, like our dispatchers make a little bit more.
Okay.
And the town
Revenue
saves it.
component from the ALS program to our dispatchers then?
It's not really a revenue, it's just part of the budget.
Okay.
It's a cost, not a revenue.
Okay. But, you know, I was thinking in terms of like grant money or funding, if that was going in, and then, you know, like if our dispatchers are being asked to do something, you know, are they billing I don't know, I don't know how it's set up, the ALS program. Is the ALS program being debited for, you know, the work that dispatchers are doing?
Yes.
Is the ALS program being debited for work that you're doing to oversee it?
I'm a salaried employee. Most of the work I gotta do with that's after hours.
All right.
So it's my own fault, I guess.
Fair enough. Salaries, awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Yep, go ahead, John.
I'd like us to get back to the discussion. of-
Okay, no, Richard had a question, it's okay.
We've been really liberal about
Okay.
the discussions going on.
We just want to make sure the
I think
questions are answered. It's the biggest, one of the biggest budgets in towns.
Sure.
So, any other discussion in regards to the fire department budget specifically? We'll get to health and emergency in a second. All in favor of the budget as proposed? Any abstain? Any object? Get that, Charlene?
Yep.
All right. We'll next jump to health or emergency.
I'm good with whatever one you wanna go to.
Let's do emergency and then health, Chris. So emergency's up 5,000 over last year's budget, Chris?
That is correct. Most of that has to do with the security cameras that need to be updated at the EOC and the software that goes along with it. That's the part. So part of the public safety building is the Emergency Operations Center, which falls underneath emergency management.
Yeah, similar to the police department.
Several other police departments, several other fire departments. So there's like 3 buildings in that, 3 components of that. So that increases for upgrades to the security system that we need to have. There's some other little minor increases in there, but that's really the driver of that.
Are you saying that upgrading the security system is a must to have?
It's the security cameras, so yes, that's really a must.
And my real question is, are we at the right level of security in general?
We're going to be adding some cameras because we're not. You typically in a secure facility, you want better coverage than what we have. They're not adding a lot, but I want to think there's 2 that we don't have good coverage on.
It's the same thing that the police department's doing, correct?
Correct.
They're splitting that cost if I'm not.
It's one project
Yep.
that all the components have to be intertwined together.
When was the last time those cameras were updated?
Before I was here in
No, it's
2020.
been a long time.
So, So that's,
I was still working part-time the last time they made updated adjustments, not replacements, updated adjustments.
part of the problem was an IT issue with, you had a different software server and camera infrastructure that wasn't,
And one of the components of that is the keypad entry to our front door. We can't change the code.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's part of the upgrades that we need to get fixed. That's been probably the same code the last 20 years.
Nobody out there heard that statement.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Larry.
Chief, is that work being put out to bid, or is there a current provider that's?
So
under
that's
contract?
really being led by the police department because it falls underneath their management, if you will.
I know John didn't speak upon it in front of the Board of Selectmen when he was here.
I think he did look at some different
I don't-
vendors out there, but I can't talk to any level of certainty though. What it is. I just got my bill.
If I may, I have another question about another line item. With the Code Red system, has that been under renewal, or
It is. Yeah, that's part of the emergency management budget.
when was that put out to bid, and when is that contract up for renewal?
We're actually looking at changing it this year. We're looking at going, transitioning to what the state uses,
Okay.
with that, but that will be coming up in the next year.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief in regards to the emergency management?
Make a motion to approve the emergency management budget for $42,125.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on the emergency budget?
Just that I think we want to make sure that we're providing up-to-date hardware, software, whatever they need as part of this warrant article.
Of course.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the emergency budget as is proposed?
Aye.
Any abstained? Any objections?
I'm for it, by the way, so I didn't mean to.
You for it? All right, he's for it. Thank you, Nolan.
So is that
Surprise.
800?
Yeah, good job, Jay.
One abstain.
710.
Any abstained?
One abstain.
So the next budget,
701.
since the chief is here, is
you.
when it gets to health, which is page 32.
So one thing that we looked at this last year is saving money, right? That's what you all want, right? Say, you laugh over there, but this is what you all want, is this is trying to save money.
No, continue.
And one of the things that we looked at is the health officer that retired, and we found hired a health officer. He is also a call member of the fire department. And he fills shifts at the fire department. He does his health officer roles and responsibilities. And after he'd been in that role for a while, we found out that he could do a lot of those same responsibilities while he's on the clock at the fire department. So when you're not running calls, he could do like his administrative work while he's on the clock at the fire department. So talking between the health officer, the town manager, myself, the Board of Selectmen, which is the health board, we decided that it would be it's not a tremendous cost savings, but it's saving $30,000. I think that's a pretty good savings, right? Would you agree that's a pretty good savings, 30 grand? To blend the health officer position with the fire department, where now he's a salaried employee, so he doesn't qualify for overtime. He fills a position on an ambulance or the fire truck. If there's calls, when they're not running calls, he has office time that he could do his administrative duties. Then he could also go out with the engine company and do health inspections the same time that we're doing fire inspections. So there's a lot of things that kind of run hand in hand. So that's kind of the backstory of how we blended that position, brought it underneath the command of the fire department, blended his percentages for his pay, and now only 44% of his salary comes out of this particular budget. So he's a 42% employee for us and a 44% employee for the health. And then the remaining balance has to do with emergency management, which he was already doing that role, getting that stipend. So it's the same for whatever that percentage was.
Okay.
So that was able to reduce the health office budget to decrease it by $30,000.
And that's nothing that we haven't done in the past. We've had employees where we've split them across departments. You know, at one point in time, we had someone that did human services, HR, and so their salary or their pay was split up between those three budgets. So
yeah.
this isn't uncommon.
It's not, and he does stay busy. We stay busy as a town with health inspections. There's 68 licensed locations that he inspects at least once a year, if not twice. There's 22 temp locations that he inspects. There's been 21 complaint investigations, and that's probably, you know, it's one thing to do preventative inspections. That's important. But the other important is a timely response to a complaint. If someone has an issue with one of the food service establishments, and he's already responded to 21 of those this last year, and we're able to get on it pretty much the same day that
They
the
say
complaint comes in.
1/3 of the town, of the establishments have had complaints?
It could be the same establishment. So some complaints have merit to it. Some complaints have, let's just say, a disgruntled employee.
Okay, just asking.
And then one had a bad thermostat. So the employee thought that something was wrong, and it was just the thermometer in the refrigerator was bad.
Just basic math, Chris.
Yeah, so.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So sometimes we'll go to the same place a couple times, and then we start to put together, and they just have a disgruntled employee.
Usually that's what it is.
Yeah, so.
Any questions in regards to the health for Chris? Go ahead, Nolan.
I do find it interesting. I mean, previously we've had this position for years, so now that I'm finding that we can cut it, I'm all for cutting budgetary costs. But previously we had a health inspector and a deputy health inspector. So that I don't know why we required, if it can be done by one person, I don't know why we required two people. I don't really know what that deputy position entailed. I think it was a stipend. I don't really.
Yeah, the deputy is a very small stipend, and it's to cover when the health inspector's gone. You kind of want to have someone available 24/7. So if the health inspector's out of town for a week or 2 weeks on vacation or at a conference or somewhere, you got to have someone backfill to fill that in. So that's where that stipend comes from.
That's similar to what we have for like building inspection. We have like contracted
Correct.
inspectors that fill in if our building inspector isn't available.
So previously, the health inspector was not working with the fire department, and he was just.
Correct. He was working for us as a call member.
Per diem
member, but he wasn't doing health inspections while he was with us. And after he'd been in that position, like I said, we evaluated it as a town is always looking at cost savings. I know you're going to laugh at that, but we do. And this is, I think, one of the things that make a pretty good impact on the budget is saving that $30,000 by blending the position.
Chief, when you say $30,000 in saving, that's just payroll budget, or is that also including insurance costs and other?
That's payroll budget. The insurance cost would be based on the employee. I'm pretty sure the employee right now is not taking the insurance either. So that wasn't being, I don't think that was being spent, or it's a small insurance plan.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Is the insurance different between that, if he's drawing health insurance, is that a different, because I could be incorrect, but I believe that the health insurance for the town and the fire department are two different.
No, that's actually the police department because they're a union.
Okay.
And
so you guys.
We're not a union, and they're not looking to become a union. So I'm sorry.
You're in the town point.
We're in the town, yeah. And he falls under Group 1 retirement, which was the same as the health inspector as it was by itself. So the cost savings is solely salary.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe a couple other little things like office supplies and stuff, right? You're reducing, but that's small money.
Any other questions for Chris in regards to the health?
Just to reiterate, you said the position now is a salary position that you're saying that when he's working at the fire department?
Correct.
Okay. And then the work that's being done on health inspections, is that being credited as hourly, or is it just all being rolled up as a salary?
It's all one salary.
Okay, all right.
So he's got one salary with those percentage breakouts that come out of those three different budgets. Some weeks he works way more than what he's supposed to. It's because of what happens at the fire department.
Right, but it's, again, it's a salary, because, because my understanding is the town, I mean, if it wasn't, I mean, just hypothetically, if it wasn't a salaried position, then I don't think the town debits, like, let's say, particular line items, you know what I mean? Like, I did 4 hours worth of, let's say, health inspector work, so that's being drawn from that line item, then, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess if it's salaried, you can just turn around and have those hard-coded percentages. So that makes sense.
That was one of the reasons that drove it to a salaried position. It's only what will really make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That answers all my questions.
Good. Any other questions for the chief? All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we pass the, did you already make one?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I make a motion that we pass the health budget for $73,555,000.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any other discussion for the chief while he's here? All in favor of the budget as proposed? Any abstain? Any rejections? All right, thank you.
One thing I did not add, I would like
Yes, sir.
to go on record and say, because if you look at this budget and the fact that someone might want to take and just do away with it altogether, we would still have to pay for the mosquito treatments. Yep. Even if the state did health inspections, that still falls under us, which is the majority of that budget. And we're currently bringing in $16,000 a year.
Okay.
So when you look at the overall impact of what this budget is, it's very minimal savings if you did anything else with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Charlene, what was that?
611.
611, I
What was the
think.
vote count?
11.
It was Katie abstaining, Nolan against, and everybody else for, so that's 6.
I'm going to table the rest of the budget since the town manager's not here. We're already pushing 8 o'clock. I don't want to talk about anything that we can't get additional information on. It doesn't make sense to rush through 2 or 3 budgets when we have to meet next week anyways.
We do street lighting?
Yes.
You guys needed more information on street lighting, or?
There was questions on that last year. That's why we tabled it. I don't believe we've been provided with those.
Well, because what is it, the email kind of really.
Did it come in today? Because I was working, Jay, so I didn't see it. If I got it a week ago, I might have been able to.
So what was your question? Because I wasn't here last week. Maybe I can help answer it.
It was
We
2
can
weeks
move this
ago,
along.
So he's looking at.
If you want to
actual
push it through, go ahead. I don't really care.
No, I just.
It's fine.
He was looking
I
at.
believe the question was what we were at
He was
current,
looking at year-to-date, so we didn't have.
because we didn't have up-to-date numbers of the
Projected.
correct?
And end of year date didn't make sense with the math that was on the projected budget.
Right.
So Greg did provide that late this afternoon after lunchtime.
So in the email today, we got it. Right now, the projected numbers are $66,000. And he's projecting that it's going to be another, what, $4,000?
No, he said it's
$7,500
for the next 2 months.
for the next 2 months. That's December and January.
7,500.
So he's still proposing the 85,000 because we still have to carry something in there because we are on the hook for the maintenance. So if those lights go out, and they do go out, I don't know how many go out a year, but some of them do go out, that we need to replace them because that's on us to pay for that. And we have to hire someone that will come out and do that. So although he agrees, or not agrees, but although he appreciated your reduction, I think keeping the 85, it allows us a little wiggle room in case we have to replace those lights. Does that help? I'm just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, just a comment on, just since we're saying we're being helpful with reductions. There's always an answer for why a penny can't be reduced from these budgets. And, there are some things that are necessary, and then there are some things that are not necessary that you really would like to have. There's a hierarchy of needs. And when someone comes in and says that everything is necessary, I'm skeptical, okay? And you could sit there and say that, you're that kind of person, but when you can't reduce a budget by a penny, and you're claiming that you're running it at 100% efficiency, and then at the same time you admit that you're building in, surpluses
Well, we're not-
that all have the aura
Not
of
building
being
in-
necessary.
We're
It's a
not-
little too much. It
We're
really
building
is.
in maintenance. So if we have to replace those lights,
Yeah.
we're not building in,
but
we're not padding it to pad it. We're building in some money there
To,
to,
to be fair, there have been
Replace
3 or 4
equipment
budgets reduced
we
before
need
they
to.
come to our committee. Correct, Jay?
Really, 3 or 4.
Recreation, planning.
Well, this budget, the streetlight budget was already reduced by $6,500
Right.
from last year.
it was already reduced.
So,
So we're just, it wouldn't be, I don't know how much it costs to replace those lights, but allowing us to have something in there to replace them as the maintenance, I know it's a bottom line budget and we can
Yeah,
take it from
that'd be my
anywhere,
answer.
but that's your answer for everything, but we're just trying to be transparent and put the money where it needs to be.
so the surplus last year
In the
was,
line.
was put back towards the taxpayer. Since Greg's not here to answer any questions, let's just table any other budgets at this point until Greg can be here as a town CFO to answer
Can I
questions.
ask a question about the lights? You know the lights near Pollard Crosswalk? That they look like some sort of artesian or vanity type lights. And I don't think those lights work. I think I might have heard something vaguely that the town couldn't find the bulbs or something for it. But there's a crosswalk there. And, you can push a button, you see something blinking,
So,
but
yeah,
the light itself doesn't
blinking
illuminate
lights
that area,
work.
you know?
I wasn't aware that those ones were out, so I'll bring it up to the town manager
I
and
think
we
they've been
can.
out for at least a solid year, right? And I think the argument around it was that they're like a vanity light and they couldn't find the bulb.
I don't know exactly everything down to the lights, what goes
can-
on in
you
this
can-
town sometimes, so.
You can email me.
I'll
what they
ask
are,
and
so
find
I can
out.
do.
Yeah, if we have it, we have an electrician here. so
I know an
we can probably
electrician, so
Run it down for you
We do have
guys.
an electrician?
I think,
Stolen's an
Oh.
electrician.
Excellent.
He can help you out with the bulbs there.
all right, so.
In regards to that,
Possibly. I
in
can't.
regards
I
to
can't-
electrician, who does that work? Are we contracting that out or is somebody?
It's a contract.
So as far as the streetlights go, we don't have the equipment or training to do it, so we hire Unitil. We pay Unitil to come out and change those.
Thank you.
I'm sure they charge a premium.
Thank you, Tyler.
Please
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
the bulb at the crosswalk for the kids.
Yeah. So,
For the children.
When they cross at night, right?
There's a family that has gone across, and the guy hauling his kid in a little cart, and it's, all you see is a blinking light, and then it's like, oh, there's somebody in the middle of the road.
yeah, it's pitch black, yeah, I get it.
I mean,
Well,
if
I
we're
almost
being
got
honest,
taken
there's
out
been a whole
tonight.
there's been a whole rash of stuff right down this road from us in Haverhill with kids getting hit at crosswalks at night. So it's not.
It happens almost during the day too. It's horrible out there.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you 100%.
All right. Thanks for letting me know. I'll make sure we get on.
You're the man. Thank you.
I'll try.
So any other business, old business, new business to talk about before we meet next week?
What is our next meeting? Did you say
Next Tuesday?
next?
Tuesday. I think we have 8 budgets or so to go through. I don't want to rush. Since Greg's not here, it doesn't make sense to tackle 1 or 2 and have to meet next week anyways. So if there's no other discussion, we'll adjourn the meeting we'll call it 8 o'clock even.
Didn't you,